about something that many coin collectors whisper about in basements and at coin shows, the so-called $1,000,000 Jefferson Nickel from the year 2000. Let's be absolutely clear right from the start. There is no officially recognized 2000 Jefferson Nickel, whether from Philadelphia P, Denver D, or San Francisco S mint, that is worth millions of dollars. But that doesn't mean the story isn't fascinating, and the myth itself has become a legend in the numismatic world. So here's your engaging, jaw-grabbing, 10-paragraph deep dive into the myth, the reality, and the value of this coin. For decades, rumors have circulated among collectors about some ultra-rare Jefferson nickels that were allegedly struck in silver instead of their normal copper-nickel composition. These tales claim that a tiny number of 2000 nickels, perhaps by accident or secret, were made in silver and could be worth astonishing sums, potentially millions of dollars. The idea of owning a coin that could turn you into a billionaire overnight is intoxicating, and that's exactly why this story won't die. But here's the real kicker. No silver Jefferson nickels from 2000 have ever been authenticated by any reputable coin grading service. They are modern, everyday coins. Let's break down why the myth exists. In U.S. coinage history, there have been genuine errors. Coins made with wrong metals, missing elements, or double strikes that are worth far more than face value. For example, the 1943 bronze penny and 1955 double die cent are legendary among collectors for their rarity and value. Because rare errors can be so valuable, people naturally wonder whether similar errors exist for every coin series, including the Jefferson Nickel. The rumor mill took that curiosity and ran with it. The year 2000 Jefferson Nickel was produced in enormous quantities, in the hundreds of millions, at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. They were standard business strike coins, meant to pay for your coffee or parking meter. San Francisco produced special proof versions for collectors, but these were still the same copper-nickel alloy used since 1946. There was no official government program to mint silver nickels in 2000. And the U.S. Mint has never confirmed any accidental silver strikes in that denomination and year. So where do supposed silver 2000 nickels come from? Sometimes people claim to have discovered one and post photos online showing a coin that looks shinier or heavier than normal. But appearances can be deceiving. Plated coins, clean coins, or tokens can all mimic the look of silver without verification from professional third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. Such coins are just interesting curiosities, not million-dollar treasures. Collectors love mystery, and marketing often fuels it. Sellers sometimes advertise extremely rare nickels with dramatic descriptions meant to capture imagination and wallets. If someone lists a coin with gold-plated surfaces or tries to pass off a novelty piece as silver, that doesn't make it genuine. A true silver strike, had there ever been one, will be confirmed by weight, metal testing, detailed examination, and documentation by experts in numismatics. Now, let's talk about real value. A regular 2000 Jefferson nickel in average condition is worth just its face value, 5 cents. Even in brilliant, uncirculated condition, typical pieces might fetch $1 or $2 from a collector. Special proof versions from San Francisco, especially those graded highly by a professional service, can be worth a bit more, sometimes a $5 to $50 range solidly, depending on condition and market demand. That's a world apart from millions, but it's honest value. However, specific high-grade examples, coins that are absolutely flawless with perfect strike and no blemishes, can attract serious collectors. A top-graded 2000 nickel, like a PR70 or MS70 from PCGS/NGC, might sell for a few $100s at auction. That's not billionaire overnight money, but it is real numismatic value that respectable collectors will pay for. These coins are rare because most coins in circulation get tiny scratches from pocket wear. If you truly think you own an extraordinary coin, what should you do? The smart path is to have it professionally authenticated and graded. Coin grading services rigorously examine a coin's metal composition, weight, strike, and condition. If it's truly unusual and not just a plated piece or novelty, they will tell you. But be wary. Millions of dollars is not the realistic range for anything in the Jefferson Nickel series from 2000. In the end, the idea of a secret, insanely valuable nickel is thrilling, almost romantic. But coin collecting is grounded in evidence, rarity, historical records, and certification. The real stories of the few genuinely valuable modern coins are fascinating precisely because they are verified exceptions, not fantasies. So if you have a 2000 Jefferson nickel, enjoy it for what it is. And if you think it's special, get it graded. You might walk away with a prize collectible, even if it doesn't quite make you a billionaire overnight. The 1963 Jefferson nickel is one of those quiet coins that sits unnoticed in pockets and drawers. Yet in the world of collectors, it carries an aura of mystery, rumors, and whispered legends. At first glance, it looks ordinary, but beneath that familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson lies a story that has fueled dreams of overnight fortune. For years, collectors have spoken about rare 1963 nickels from the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints that escaped the ordinary rules of coinage, becoming symbols of how something small and ignored can suddenly turn into a life-changing discovery. What makes the 1963 Jefferson nickel so fascinating is not what most people see, but what a few trained eyes search for. These coins were struck during a time when minting pressure was high and quality control was stretched thin. In rare situations, coins were created with extraordinary characteristics. Unusual surfaces, strange textures, dramatic doubling, or unexpected metal behavior that made them feel heavier, brighter, and more mysterious than normal nickels. These anomalies are the sparks that ignite million-dollar conversations. Some collectors believe that a tiny number of 1963 Jefferson nickels were struck under experimental or transitional conditions, giving them a silvery appearance that shocks anyone who expects the usual dull nickel tone. When such a coin appears, rumors explode. Is it a wrong metal strike? Is it an off-planet miracle? Is it a mint accident never meant to leave the building? These questions are what transform an ordinary 5-cent piece into a coin people whisper about with awe and excitement. The Philadelphia Mint, often lacking a mint mark, is at the center of many of these legends. Coins from this mint are believed to hold the greatest potential for extreme rarity when something goes wrong during production. A flawless strike with strange brilliance, razor-sharp details, and an almost proof-like finish can instantly push a 1963 Jefferson nickel into a completely different universe of value. In the eyes of collectors, perfection mixed with mystery is priceless. The San Francisco Mint adds another layer of intrigue. Known for producing coins with superior finishes, any 1963 Jefferson nickel showing dramatic errors, mirror-like surfaces, or unmatched strike quality becomes a serious object of desire. When condition reaches near-perfect levels and an unusual feature is present, collectors no longer talk in hundreds or thousands. They talk in numbers that feel unreal, numbers that can change families' futures and legacies. What truly drives imagination wild is the idea that these coins might already be sitting in someone's home, unrecognized and underestimated. A single coin found in an old roll, a forgotten jar, or an inherited collection can suddenly become the center of attention for elite collectors. This is why experienced voices always warn. Never rush to sell, never accept the first offer, and never underestimate a coin that looks different. Knowledge is a key that unlocks hidden fortune. The phrase, overnight fortune, is not just hype in the collector's mindset. It represents possibility. History has shown again and again that rare coins dismissed for decades can explode in value once their true nature is understood. A unique 1963 Jefferson nickel, verified and authenticated, becomes more than metal. It becomes a once-in-a-lifetime artifact that wealthy collectors compete for, sometimes pushing values into territory that feels unimaginable. Condition is the silent king in this story. A worn coin tells a different tale than one preserved in near mint or flawless state. Sharp steps on Monticello, bold lettering, untouched surfaces, and original luster elevate a rare nickel into legendary status. When rarity, condition, and mystery collide in a single 1963 Jefferson nickel, the result is a kind of coin people dream about but rarely ever see. This is why collectors say that such a coin has the power to change destiny. Not because every 1963 nickel is valuable, but because the right one with the right story and the right features can rewrite a person's future. It reminds us that history sometimes hides its greatest treasures in the smallest forms, waiting patiently for the moment someone finally recognizes their true worth. So if you ever come across a 1963 Jefferson nickel that feels different, looks unusual, or shines a way that defies expectation, pause and look again. That quiet little coin may not just be 5 cents. It may be a sleeping giant, holding the power to turn curiosity into wealth and chance into an unforgettable transformation. The Jefferson Nickel is one of America's most familiar coins. 5 cents in your pocket, Thomas Jefferson on the front, Monticello on the back. For ordinary circulation, the 1996 nickel is just another piece of metal. But to collectors and treasure hunters, certain 1996 varieties are like hidden keys to fortune. Imagine holding a coin that could be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or, in rare legends, claimed to be worth far more. That's the emotional wildfire behind people talking about this nickel. Most people never think twice about nickel. It jingles in a coffee machine, it saves in a jar. But coin collectors, known as numismatists, see a world of subtle differences. The way letters are struck, tiny doubling on dates or letters, unusual surfaces, and mistakes that occur only once in millions of coins. These quirks can transform something ordinary into something extraordinary. The 1996 Jefferson nickels were made at 2 U.S. mint locations, Philadelphia, P, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia coins were the everyday circulation pieces you used in change. The San Francisco coins, especially those from proof sets, were struck with more care and often have a shinier, more mirror-like finish. To the untrained eye, they still look like nickels, but collectors instantly recognize the difference. What makes a coin valuable is a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. A common 1996 nickel in your pocket is worth its face value, literally 5 cents. But if a coin has an unusual error, for instance, a misstruck image, an off-center strike, or a double die where parts of the design appear to be stamped twice, its value can skyrocket in collector markets. These quirks are like printing mistakes in rare banknotes. Small, unpredictable, and fiercely sought after. There are stories, sometimes exaggerated, sometimes true, about certain error nickels from 1996 being worth enormous amounts. The most famous tales involve rare double dies or misaligned strikes that appeared only on a handful of coins before the mint corrected the mistake. In the rarefied world of coin auctions, such a coin could command prices far above typical values. But let's be honest and clear, not every 1996 nickel is a golden ticket. Most are worth just what they say, 5 cents. Only a tiny fraction, found by people examining rolls of change under magnification, show the kinds of characteristics that make collectors' hearts race. And even among these, the true value comes from careful authentication by coin grading services that confirm the identity and condition beyond dispute. The conditions that make a coin collectible are specific: crisp detail with no wear, clean surfaces, and striking clarity. A deeply scratched or worn coin, even if it has an error, won't fetch the same prices. In the highest tiers, coins graded as mint state or proof with high numerical grades can be the ones that excite major bidders at auctions and private sales. Imagine a coin so perfect, so rare, that seasoned collectors whisper about in auction rooms. These are the stories behind the myth that a 1996 nickel could make someone a billionaire. Realistically, even the most valuable nickels, error or proof, are worth significant but not astronomical sums compared to everyday money. But in the fevered imagination of treasure seekers, the idea of striking it rich from pocket change is seductive. If you hold a 1996 nickel that looks unusual, don't toss it back into circulation. Check it carefully under good light or with magnification. Compare it to normal examples. If you suspect something special, like doubling, misalignment, or unusual lettering, have it evaluated by experienced collectors or professional graders. What seems ordinary may hide a story worth more than its weight in metal. In the end, the real value of a coin like the 1996 Jefferson nickel is a blend of history, rarity, and the passion of people who collect them. Most are everyday coins. Some are intriguing. A very small number are genuinely rare and coveted. If you have one of those ultra-rare varieties, its worth in today's market can be astonishing. Not automatic billionaire making, but potentially life-changing for the informed owner who understands its significance and markets it wisely. If you want, I can explain specific error types, how to spot them yourself, and how collectors grade coins so you can evaluate your nickel like a pro. Just ask. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel isn't just any ordinary coin you might find in your pocket change. It's a tiny slice of American history, quietly holding the potential to transform fortunes overnight. At first glance, it may seem like a simple 5-cent piece minted from a familiar copper-nickel blend, but for collectors and coin enthusiasts, certain versions of this nickel are nothing short of legendary. Coins from the P, Philadelphia, and S, San Francisco, mints of 1978 are particularly coveted, not merely for their age, but for their rarity and the subtle nuances that set them apart from the millions of other nickels struck that year. What makes the 1978 Jefferson Nickel truly fascinating is its connection to the timeless legacy of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, whose portrait graces the obverse side. Jefferson's image, meticulously designed to convey both dignity and vision, has become iconic over the decades. But it's not just a design. It's the story behind each coin, minted during a time of political and social change in America, a reminder of the nation's resilience and ambition. Holding this coin in your hand is like holding a piece of history, an artifact that whispers secrets from over 40 years ago. Collectors are particularly drawn to the coins minted at the San Francisco S Mint, as these were primarily intended for proof sets rather than general circulation. Proof coins are struck with extraordinary precision, using specially polished dies, giving the nickel a mirror-like finish that seems to glow in the light. The 1978 S Mint Jefferson Nickel in pristine condition can fetch sums that border on unbelievable, especially when it reaches the rare state of gem or perfect proof. These coins often command prices in the tens of thousands, and in extremely rare circumstances, even higher. The Philadelphia P mint coins are equally captivating, though they often appear in larger quantities. Yet within these common coins lurk hidden gems. Errors in striking, double dies, or slight misalignments create unique specimens that instantly become collectors' treasures. A 1978 P mint nickel with such anomalies could turn a modest pocket change coin into a sensational fortune overnight, a financial and historical jackpot waiting quietly in a collection or forgotten drawer. The allure of these nickels goes beyond just their metallic content or minting origin. The 1978 Jefferson Nickel represents an era in numismatics where artistry, precision, and industrial capability intersected. The copper-nickel alloy may seem modest, but its durability ensures that the coin often survives decades without losing its luster. For investors and collectors, this resilience makes it a rare opportunity, a small object with potential to appreciate exponentially in value, especially as pristine specimens become scarcer over time. A particularly intriguing aspect of the 1978 nickel is its potential for misidentification and undervaluation. Many ordinary holders of coins do not realize the true significance of certain specimens. A single, well-preserved S-mint-proof nickel tucked away in a forgotten album could be worth far more than its face value, turning an unsuspecting owner into an overnight sensation in the numismatic world. It's this hidden potential, the chance to uncover a treasure where others see only a trivial coin, that gives the Jefferson Nickel its almost magical reputation among collectors. The excitement surrounding these coins is also fueled by the stories and myths of record sales. Rare specimens have appeared in auctions and private sales, sometimes reaching astronomical figures that defy common logic. These stories, passed from collector to collector, create a mystique that elevates the 1978 Jefferson Nickel from simple currency to an almost legendary artifact, a symbol of luck, strategy, and historical reverence all rolled into one tiny disc of metal. Condition, of course, is everything. A worn, circulated nickel will never achieve the same jaw-dropping prices as one that is uncirculated, flawless, or certified by a leading grading authority. Collectors obsess over the tiniest scratches, the slightest discolorations, and even the angle of the strike. The thrill of owning a perfectly preserved 1978 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that has survived the decades untouched, is matched only by the anticipation of seeing it appreciated exponentially in value. Owning such a coin is not just a matter of wealth. It's about prestige. Displayed in a collection, it sparks admiration, curiosity, and conversation. Its value is both tangible and symbolic, a representation of historical significance, meticulous craftsmanship, and the unpredictable alchemy of the numismatic market. Those who understand its true potential know that even a single 1978 S-Mint nickel can quietly hold the power to change lives overnight, transforming modest investments into extraordinary fortunes. In the end, the 1978 Jefferson Nickel is more than a 5-cent coin. It's a testament to history, artistry, and the magic of hidden potential. Whether it sits forgotten in a drawer or proudly displayed in a collector's album, it carries the promise of fortune, legacy, and awe. For anyone lucky enough to hold a rare, pristine specimen, it's not merely a coin. It's a key to a world where history, wealth, and destiny intertwine, waiting for a moment to reveal its full, life-altering power. If you want, I can make an even more dramatic, story-like version of this script that makes it feel like a treasure-hunting adventure, stretching it to be even more gripping for listeners or viewers. Do you want me to do that next? 1857 Liberty Silver Dollar, especially those rare pieces from the Mintark P and S varieties. This is designed to capture your imagination and energize your mind about why such a coin, in stellar condition, could be considered life-changingly valuable. Imagine holding a coin that isn't just metal and minting, but a gateway through time. The 1857 Liberty Silver Dollar is one of those rare artifacts where artistry meets history, struck in an era before modern machinery. Each coin carries a legacy of skilled engravers and craftsmen who shaped silver into art. For collectors and historians alike, this isn't just currency. It's a physical story of a young nation, its hopes, and the hands that used it. Now consider the Mintark designation, the elusive P and S versions of this issue. These marks suggest rarity and distinct origin points, making them standout stars in any collection. Coins from specific mint markers can have wildly different values, and for the dedicated numismatist, uncovering a P or S variant in pristine condition is like finding buried treasure. These pieces aren't just rare, they're whispering secrets of their journey through centuries. Every serious collector knows that markets don't just value metal. They value story, condition, provenance, and myth. A flawless 1857 Liberty Dollar, untouched by wear and exhibiting that original Mintark shine, becomes something beyond silver. It becomes a legend. In the rarefied world of high-end numismatics, such coins sit in elite company with items fetching prices that can reverberate into the millions, dwarfing what most people would imagine any old coin to be worth. Think of this dollar as a sleeping giant, a silver slumbering power waiting for discovery. In today's auction rooms, where whispers can drive bids into astronomical heights, legends are made. Stories of collectors spending fortunes to secure one encapsulate just how fiercely coveted these pieces are. To own one is to hold an artifact that others would die to buy. Many coins have value, but only a few have destiny. The 1857 Liberty Dollar from Mintark P or S, in impeccable grade, is often spoken about in hushed tones among elite collectors. It has that rare combination of age, artistry, and scarcity that fuels valuations not by mere hundreds or thousands, but by millions. And in a market driven by prestige and history, one perfect specimen can indeed fire the imagination and the bidding war. Remember, rare coins aren't liquid like stocks. They don't trade every day on an exchange. Their worth isn't just intrinsic. It's emotional, historical, and speculative. That means when the right buyer comes along at the right moment with passion and deep pockets, a single sale can turn the coin's owner into a headline. Numismatist becomes overnight multimillionaire. But such dramatic outcomes don't come by accident. The condition matters immensely. A coin circulated and worn down by pocketware might be charming, but it's the unblemished, lustrous, museum-quality beauties that collectors crave. These mint state gems, untouched by the rough passage of time, are what drive the imagination and the prices. Imagine walking into an auction room, hearing the gavel rise, and the bidding starting at prices you once thought unreachable. Collectors from around the world, investors, museums, wealthy enthusiasts, all locked in a verbal dance to claim ownership. This is where history meets hunger, and the value doesn't just climb, it explodes. Yet, with great potential comes great responsibility. If you possess such a coin, a true Mintark P or S 1857 Liberty Dollar in brilliant condition, it's not something to hastily sell for a quick return. The patient, wise collector knows that timing, presentation, and context can elevate a sale from mere profit to legendary status. You don't just sell history, you showcase it. Finally, imagine the life-altering weight of such a coin. Not the physical heft. Silver is modest, but the emotional and financial power it holds. Stories of humbler beginnings transformed to a rare find are common in numismatic lore. Whether it elevates you to millionaire status or simply becomes a treasured family heirloom passed down through generations, its worth is far greater than numbers on a price tag. It's a testament to history, rarity, and the enduring allure of something truly extraordinary. Let me know if you want historical details, estimated modern values, or a guide to grading and authenticating such a coin. I can dive deep into any aspect you want.